Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today
Oh, this is exciting.
into an article straight from the Arabic-speaking tech world. It's buzzing over there, all about 2024's biggest advancements.
Yeah, even if you don't read Arabic.
I'm going to break it all down for you. It's mind-blowing, really.
Good.
They're talking about advanced AI.
Smart robots, even. In our daily lives.
And can't forget the wearable tech and VR. It's like the future's knocking on our door.
It really feels that way, it's not just separate advancements. It's like they're all weaving together, changing everything.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Advanced AI. They're saying it's not just simple tasks anymore.
Yeah, like making a calendar appointment or something.
Exactly. We're talking complex learning, AI interacting like never before.
Like those AI assistants in movies.
Kinda? But how close are we, really?
Closer than you think. The article talks about AI writing complex code.
No way!
Yeah, not just basic stuff. Like algorithms, even seasoned programmers haven't cracked.
AI, the creative genius. That's wild. But wait, it gets even crazier.
Oh, there's more.
They're saying AI can analyze human behavior just by going through data.
That's interesting. What kind of data, though?
Well, think about it. Everything we do online.
Our shopping sprees, all that.
Our social media, every click. AI can pick up patterns, see our behavior.
Our preferences, even.
They say even emotions, like AI's reading between the lines of our digital life.
It's fascinating, but gotta admit, a little creepy too, right?
Right. Like, what about manipulation? Could AI predict our weaknesses, exploit us?
Definitely a valid concern. There's a fine line, between helpful personalization and straight-up manipulation.
We need serious ethical rules, right?
Absolutely. Robust regulations. It's a powerful tool, AI. Like any tool can be used for good or bad.
True. So it's on us to make sure AI enhances our lives, not
Yeah.
takes over, right?
Absolutely.
Speaking of taking over, though, that brings us to robots, not just in factories anymore.
Right. Homes, hospitals, classrooms, they're everywhere.
The article dives into this. Not just mindless machines anymore, either.
Oh, no. With AI, they're adaptable, learning, interacting like, well,
Yeah.
almost human.
Robots that think. Okay, that's a little unsettling.
It's definitely a new frontier, but with incredible potential.
Like, the article talks about robots assisting with surgery.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard about that?
Wait, like actually performing surgery on people?
Yep. Robotic surgical systems are already being used, helping surgeons with super precise stuff.
No way. It's like a surgeon with superpowers.
Precisely. It's not about replacing surgeons, though. It's
Yeah.
about making them even better, more precise, less invasive.
That's amazing. But what about robots outside the operating room? They're in classrooms now, too.
Yeah, it's changing how kids learn.
Really?
These aren't robots droning on with lectures. They're interactive tutors adapting to each kid's needs.
It's personalized learning.
Yeah.
Taken to a whole new level.
Exactly. Imagine every child having their own personal tutors, always there.
That's amazing. And it's not just classrooms, right? The article mentioned museums, libraries.
Think robot tour guides, librarians. They can answer any question, make things super engaging.
Wow, it's like having a walking encyclopedia. Always ready.
Right at your fingertips.
It's incredible. But with all these robots stepping in,
Yeah.
got to think about the jobs, right?
Yeah.
What happens to the people whose jobs are, well, taken over?
It's a question we can't ignore. Some jobs will definitely change,
Uh-huh.
but history shows technology also brings new opportunities. The key is adapting,
Learning new skills.
Exactly. Skills robots can't replicate. Creativity, critical thinking, those things.
That's not just about coding anymore.
It's about what makes us uniquely human.
I like that. And speaking of uniquely human, that brings us to the final frontier this article explores: wearable tech and VR.
Oh, this is where it gets really wild.
It's like they're blurring the lines between physical and digital.
Like magic, almost.
We're not just talking fitness trackers anymore, are we?
Nope.
Yeah.
This is next level. Think wearables that monitor your health, enhance your senses, even transport you to other realities. Augmented and virtual experiences.
Oh, okay, I'm intrigued. So the article mentions VR and AR for entertainment, education, even professional training.
Right. Imagine attending a virtual concert, exploring ancient ruins without leaving your living room.
Or practicing surgery in a virtual operating room.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
Mind-blowing. But how realistic is it, really? Can you actually feel like you're there?
That's where the wearable tech gets really cool. We've got haptic feedback, so you can actually feel sensations in the virtual world.
No way.
And brain-computer interfaces. Imagine controlling virtual objects with your thoughts.
It's like something out of a movie.
But it's happening now.
It's incredible, but it also makes you wonder, are we risking losing touch with actual reality?
Ah, the age-old question. It's a valid concern for sure.
Like, what about neglecting our physical world, real relationships, all that?
It's all about balance, isn't it? Using these technologies to enhance our lives, not escape them.
So true. Moderation is key, like with anything.
Exactly. We got to embrace the possibilities, but not lose sight of what really matters.
Our connection to each other, our shared humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And that's what's so fascinating about this deep dive.
I agree.
It's not just about the tech itself, it's about how we use it to shape our future.
Well said. And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll dive even deeper into all of this, the challenges, the opportunities, and how we can shape a future where technology truly empowers us all.
Can't wait. Welcome back. Before we jump into the next wave of tech, there's one thing about wearable tech and VR that we need to revisit.
Oh yeah, the brain-computer interfaces. It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It is, but what's really cool is that it's not just for fun. You know, the article talks about VR changing professional fields, like big time.
I can imagine, like architects walking through virtual buildings.
Exactly. The article specifically mentions that. Architects can experience their designs, catch flaws, refine everything before even starting to build.
That's amazing. Like a real-world simulator for every job.
And pilots. They're using VR to train for, like, everything. Routine flights, emergency landings, all in a safe environment.
That's incredible. So it's not just about entertainment.
Not at all. And then there's AR.
I always think of those filters on social media, you know?
Yeah, but it's going way beyond that now.
Really? How
So, the article talks about technicians using AR glasses to, like, see diagrams right on the equipment they're fixing. It's like X-ray vision for machines.
Wow, that's next level. And surgeons are using it too, right?
During surgery.
Yeah.
To visualize anatomy in real time.
It's like giving humans superpowers.
It really is. Makes you wonder what work will look like when this stuff becomes, you know, everyday tech.
Will we all be wearing AR glasses, interacting with virtual stuff at our jobs?
It's definitely possible. The line between physical and digital is blurring more and more.
It's exciting, but also a little scary, right? Like, what about the downsides?
Right. We talked about AI being used for bad stuff, but are there similar concerns with VR and AR?
That's a good question. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, the article mentions the potential for even bigger divides between people.
Device.
Like between those who have access to this tech and those who don't. Imagine some people experiencing this enhanced reality while others are stuck in the, well, regular world.
It's like a whole new level of inequality.
Exactly. A digital divide on steroids, almost.
That's a sobering thought. And we haven't even talked about robots taking jobs yet.
Right. The article goes into that, too. It's not just about replacing workers, though.
Okay, so what is it about then?
It's about changing how work is done. Humans and robots collaborating.
So like working together.
Exactly. Take manufacturing. Robots are doing the heavy lifting, the repetitive tasks, and humans are focusing on the more creative, complex stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not humans versus robots.
It's humans and robots side by side.
But how do we prepare for that? What skills do we need in this robot-filled future?
The article stresses skills that robots can't do well. Problem solving, critical thinking, adaptability.
It's those uniquely human skills again.
Yep. Emotional intelligence, all that, those are what will make humans valuable.
So it's not just about technical skills anymore. It's about, well, being human.
Exactly. It makes you wonder how education needs to change.
Will we need to rethink everything? How we teach, how we learn.
A lot of people are already talking about that. Moving away from rote learning, focusing more on creativity, collaboration.
It's like we're on the edge of a huge shift.
Yeah.
In work, education, everything.
It really is. And we have to be ready for it.
But before we get too philosophical, we need to talk about the ethics of all this.
It's not enough to just be amazed by the technology, right? We have to think about the downsides, use it responsibly.
Where do we even start? We've talked about AI manipulation, VR creating divides. What else?
Well, the article talks about robots and AI becoming more autonomous. They're making decisions that have real consequences.
So who's responsible when something goes wrong? Like if a self-driving car crashes or an AI doctor makes a bad diagnosis.
Exactly. It's uncharted territory. We need new laws, new ethical rules.
It's like we're making the rules as we go along.
In a way, we are. But it's not just about laws. It's about having conversations as a society.
About what kind of future we want.
Exactly. We need to decide what values we want to guide this new world.
It's not about letting technology control us.
It's about making sure it serves us.
I like that. Technology as a tool, not a ruler.
That's it. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting, It's not just about the future of tech.
It's about the future of humanity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we've covered a lot today. Robots, AI, the ethics of it all. But there's still more to explore. Join us for part 3, where we'll go even deeper, see how all this affects us, and how we can navigate this tech revolution in a way that benefits everyone.
Wow, it's amazing to think about all this tech, how much it's already changing things.
It really is, and we've only scratched the surface, haven't we?
Barely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into this Arabic article, one question keeps popping into my head.
Where do we go from here? We've seen the potential, the challenges, but what does it all mean?
Yeah, it's like we're standing at this crossroads.
Right. All these paths we could take.
Exactly. We have these powerful tools, but it's up to us to decide how to use them.
The article talks about that a lot, doesn't it? This responsibility we have.
It does. It's not just about accepting what comes, it's about shaping the future.
But how do we do that? It feels so big, you know?
Well, maybe we start by changing how we think about these technologies.
What do you mean?
We tend to see them as separate things, right? AI over here, robots over there.
Yep, but they're all connected.
Exactly. And the article highlights that. AI isn't just its own field, it's driving everything else.
Robots, VR, AR, all of it.
It's like AI is the brain, the nervous system of this whole tech revolution.
That's a good way to put it. But the more powerful AI gets, the more I wonder about control, you know?
Like, are machines going to take over?
Exactly. Is that the future we're heading towards?
Well, the article talks about that too, and it's reassuring, actually.
Yeah.
It emphasizes human oversight, making sure AI aligns with our values, our goals.
So it's not about letting go of control.
It's about harnessing AI's power, using it to make things better for everyone.
I like that. But how do we make sure that happens? How do we keep that balance as AI gets smarter and smarter?
Well, one thing the article mentions is explainable AI.
Explainable AI.
Yeah, it's about making sure we understand how AI makes decisions.
So it's not a black box
Yeah,
anymore?
exactly. We can see the reasoning, make sure it's aligned with our ethics.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
But transparency is one thing, responsibility is another, right?
absolutely. If AI is making decisions that affect us, who's accountable when things go wrong?
Tough question. The article touches on that, right?
Yeah, it suggests we need new rules, new laws for this new world.
It's like we're figuring it out as we go along.
In a way we are, but it's not just about laws, it's about talking about these issues.
As a society.
Exactly. We need to decide what kind of future we want with AI, where the lines are.
It's a lot to think about. But hey, let's not forget about all those robots, too.
Oh, right. They're not going away.
The article really paints a picture of robots everywhere, helping us with everything.
Yeah, from chores to surgery, it's mind-blowing.
It makes you think about jobs, though, doesn't it? What happens when robots can do so much?
The article acknowledges that, the potential for job displacement.
But it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, right?
Right. It also talks about the opportunity to focus on more meaningful work.
Work that robots can't do.
Exactly. The creative stuff, the problem solving, the human connection.
So robots could free us from the boring stuff.
And let us focus on what makes us human.
It's a different way of looking at it, for sure.
Huh.
But how do we make sure these robots are used ethically?
Well, that's where ethical guidelines for robotics come in.
It's like rules for how they should behave.
Exactly. The article stresses things like safety, prioritizing human well-being.
Making sure robots are tools, not threats.
Exactly. But it gets tricky, right? What happens when robots start feeling more human?
Like emotions, self-awareness.
That sci-fi question, it's becoming less fiction all the time.
Does the article talk about that?
Not really, but it makes you wonder if we'll need to expand our ethical circle.
To include robots. That's
Yeah.
a wild thought.
It is. But, hey, before we get too philosophical, remember VR and AR, all those immersive experiences?
Oh yeah, it's like stepping into another world.
And it's not just for fun anymore.
Right. The article mentions education, healthcare, even therapy.
VR can help us learn, heal, even overcome fears.
It's like using technology to transform ourselves from the inside out.
Pretty amazing, right? But with all this amazing tech, it's easy to get carried away.
Lose touch with reality.
Exactly, and the article reminds us of that. It's all about balance.
Using VR and AR to enhance our lives, not replace them, making sure we don't forget about the real world, real connections.
Exactly. Technology should serve us, not the other way around.
Well said. This deep dive has been incredible. We've seen so much, learned so much.
It's been an eye-opener, that's for sure. Not just about the tech, but about ourselves, too.
And the future we're creating. Well, that's a wrap on our exploration of the future of technology. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Remember, the future is in our hands. Let's use these tools wisely, ethically,